Hello, my name is Calvin Smith, and today I will be working with the Red Hat satellite server. The task that I am trying to accomplish is to use host collections and roles to limit what host an administrator has access to when using the Red Hat satellite server. This is a feature that's come in as of version 6.3, but it takes a few steps to get it all completed. So I'm going to walk through them with you so that we can see if we can make this work. As you can see, this is version 6.3.3 of the satellite server. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to log in to the administrative user. At that point, we're going to then, I'll show the host collections that we have, and I'm going to create a user. So, well, let's say, for instance, we have an OpenShift administrator that is going to be managing these OpenShift servers here. By going through the host collections, and you should be able to see the OpenShift host collection, which is going to have 3 host groups in them, 3 servers in them. I know it seems like it's running a little slow today. Okay. There they are. So, as you can see, we have 3 content hosts in here, and those 3 servers are the 3 OpenShift servers. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create create the user. Let's call him OpenShift today. Create the OpenShift user and give him an email address. Authorized by internal, so we'll give him a standard and very easy password for the purposes of this demo. Of course, you would either hook the satellite server into your domain controller or use stronger passwords if this was in production. So once we've created the user, I'm going to go back in and make sure that his location is set and his organization is set. Alright, so now that I have the user, I'm going to create a role for him, and we'll call this role the OpenShift administrator. The role-based access control inside a satellite server is actually extremely powerful, and but it's not something that we normally play around with a lot, at least I don't. So we're going to call this role OpenShift administrator for the OpenShift admin. Now you could create the roles and break them up into smaller pieces that you could then combine based on what your needs are. But for the purposes of this demo, we're going to create one role that has all the rights that this OpenShift administrator is going to need. So once you've created the role, now we start to apply filters to the role, which will give the role the functionality that it's going to need. So let's get started. The first and most important one is going to be the host filter. We want the user to be able to manage the hosts that he's supposed to be able to manage. But only the ones in the host collection. That's called OpenShift. So, just a quick recap. I've given this particular role filter view host, edit host, power host, console host, so that you can essentially manage the hosts that are already in existence. If you want them to be able to create hosts and provision hosts, you can also add these additional permissions. But we move on, and then we make sure that we bound it by the host collection of OpenShift. So I'm going to save that. We're going to add the ability. We're going to add the ability for him to edit content hosts, content views, so that he can add new content to the content views and then publish and promote them to the to his servers. So we add that. All right, a couple extra miscellaneous ones. We're going to add access to the dashboard, which will allow when you log in, you don't get a big screen that says you don't have permission to do anything. So you will see this dashboard here. And then last but not least, you also add organization and location rights. Organization rights. And then location rights. I'm not sure if you absolutely positively need to set these two, but I found that things tend to work better when they are. Location. Few locations. Okay, so now that we have all of this pulled together, we need to assign that to our OpenShift user. So we'll go in here and give him that role. And when you get a chance, you should go through all of the different rights and permissions that are available in the roles. There's quite a lot in there. Okay, so we've added the OpenShift administrator role. We save that. Okay, now let's test it out. So I'm going to log out of this server. I'm going to log in as the OpenShift admin. Alright, there are 3 OpenShift servers. And you could see as well that our menu has been greatly cut down due to the restricted rights that we have. You can see the hosts, and we could see them in a content host view as well. We can see the content views and errata and pop-up modules. So let's take a look. So there's our servers. We could take a look, and we can see the various updates that are available. Now, even though it says that there are no even though there are no installable updates, if we go to the errata, we can see that there is an applicable update. I am assuming. There he is. It's a minor enhancement. Okay, you can see the content host count is counting all the entire server, the entire population in satellite. That's not really restricted. But when you get down into the details, you will only have access to the 3 servers that are on the OpenShift server here. So we can now take this and apply it to this errata to our 3 content hosts. Let's see what happens. Alright, so as you can see, it can't apply them because that particular errata is not in a content view that the servers are a member of. So what needs to happen is that the content view is going to need to be updated with this errata, and then they will be pushed out. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the errata to the content hosts as soon as we immediately after we publish it. Okay, so this is going to take a little while. So while we're waiting for that to finish, what we can do is try a few other things out. So we have access to the individual servers. So we can see we have that non-security errata applicable, which is what we're working on over here. We have our OpenShift master. We could power the server on or off. We have access to the console. As you can see, build and running Puppet and deleting the server are all dimmed out. But we could still access the console though if we need to shut the machine down or something to that effect. Alright, so we can go in here. Alright. So we have all of these various rights to this particular server. Okay. All right. I'm not going to wait until this actually completes, but I will. But I believe I've shown the ability to create the restricted user that has access to only a few servers and is able to perform a variety of tasks with those servers. The last thing I think I'm going to show is we did not set up execute remote hosts, remote jobs, but I saw that it was lit up. So let's go see what happens if I select that. Alright, so you get permission denied. If you would like that to be available, this is the role that you would have to, this is the permission that you would have to also add to the OpenShift administrator user. But for the purposes of this demo, we're not doing that. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope this was useful to you.